with Sareth Ney. In every episode, I bring a comedian, comic onto the show and to shine some light on them. And this is no different. And my phone's going off because it's reminding me to interview you. So without further ado, Jerry Hamedi, how are you, bud?
Good. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Awesome. You're a comic and an all-around great guy. So this is gonna be a fun interview.
Yeah, I that's the bio I wrote about myself. So, yeah, that's me.
Awesome. So you attended the 10,000 Laughs Festival in Minneapolis, and what are some of your favorite memories from that?
Oh man, that was no joke the best weekend of my life. It was so much fun. It was the first festival that I've even submitted to, and it was a blast. I drove there. They put us up in a hotel. Night one was a great show, and then they gave us like a like prime rib dinner, which was awesome. And then, man, we I don't know, every show was great. I got to open for Sam Talent at the uh, Southern Theater, which was really cool. It was like my first time doing like a big theater venue like that. And I had interviewed Sam, so it was cool like having that connection. That was definitely a big memory. Just I don't know. We went uh, like airsofting. We did like Nerf laser tag, which was really fun, and you could get like swords. So I was just running around with swords, hitting people. It was like they did a Bob the producer did a really good job of just making it fun for everyone, really welcoming. All the shows were great. Sisyphus Brewing, I think I had like the best set of my life. It was so much fun. It was a great experience. And then yeah, got home and then my girlfriend and I we broke up.
Oh
so
no.
so like highs and lows, but yeah, it was very fun. A lot of good memories from 10,000 Laughs for sure.
Awesome. Yep,
I don't know
Sam
why I
Talent.
threw that in there. By the way, that was weird. It's like, yeah,
It happens. Yeah. So Sam Talent is such a cool dude. Like I ran into him in the High Plains Comedy Festival. He was doing the Fine Gentlemen's Club with his crew, Chris Charpentier and Nathan Lund. And
yeah,
then I saw him in Tampa with Nathan Lund, and he's signed my book again, and he's so awesome. His book
yeah.
is so rad.
It's such a good book, and yeah, he signed mine as well, and was kind enough to give me an extra one to give out to my readers at the Comedy Gazelle. So yeah, he's a great guy, super super funny. I think a lot of people in comedy circles are big fans of his, but I think it's only a matter of time before he's more of like a household name. He's just an incredible writer, incredible performer. She's just a beast.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like man, like when I saw him in Tampa and in Colorado, like my laughs couldn't just it couldn't catch up to my body. It was just so intense, like
That's what he
nonstop.
does, man. He
Yeah.
yeah, he gets you, and then he gets everything out of you. He's really good.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Did you record the set of your life at 10,000 Lakes?
Oh yeah, so they recorded it, and I've been trying to get the recording, and it's been uh, I don't know. I still haven't gotten it, so I'm trying to. Hopefully, they'll send it over soon. I really should call the guy and see what I can do, but hopefully I'll get that, and then I can use it, to submit to other festivals, shows, and chop it up. Maybe put a couple clips online, which I need to be a lot better about. But yeah.
For sure. Yeah, my weakness is just clipping them and captioning them, and I'm like, I'm so over this. I'm just watching the whole thing on my YouTube channel. Like,
Yeah, right. That's the thing though. You're asking for uh people's attention for so long, it's tough.
yeah,
And I don't think I even have a YouTube channel, so I gotta get on that, I guess. Ugh,
for sure.
stressing me out, man.
Indeed. This journalism thing is just it's rough being a journalist and a comic because you need a YouTube. It's like I tried Vimeo and I'm like, they just cap you, and it's just like YouTube is just upload all you want. So
Yeah, yeah. I should really look into it. I think it would be beneficial. But yeah, I was thinking of maybe, because I do record all my interviews, but I'll end up just kind of transcribing them and typing them up. And I put a couple clips out, but I think yeah, having the visual is really nice. I might start going in that direction, at least for a little bit, or for like promos or something. So yeah, it's definitely worth exploring.
absolutely. So this the Star Tribune named you five stand-ups that could be the next big thing. Holy cow! So
Yeah, the world famous Star Tribune, the end all be all of all comedy facts. I don't know. It was really nice of them. I don't know why I'm trashing the people that were like, yeah. I don't know. It's really nice of them. Um, and honestly, just like shocking. The people on that list were really, really good. A lot of them were like people headlining the festival, so it was really nice to be included in that. Um, yeah, I mean, hopefully, I am the next big. I don't know. That would be cool, but yeah, it's just it was a nice little feel good boost. Just having people give a shit. So it was nice.
oh yeah, most definitely. And I got mixed reviews from the Orlando Sentinel, and it was just for my one man show, and I'm like, oh well. At least my when I switched into a costume, they were happy about that part. But I was so monotone. They said I need a new script supervisor. He's a director. He's a mess. So like,
Hey, well, all press is good press. At least somebody, cares enough to write about you. That's an honor.
that's
Um,
true.
that's so funny though.
Yep.
It's like
I was
this was terrible. Boo.
and like I
Stick
was
to interviewing.
yep, indeed. And I planned on making like $12 off one ticket, and then I ended up coming home with like over 700, and it was all a tax write off. So it's like,
Oh wow.
so I stuck it to the Orlando Sentinel in that sense.
There you go. Yeah. I don't think I made any money. But they put us up in a hotel and gave us food and whatnot. So that wasn't really the point. It was more just, exposure and, you know, fun.
Oh yeah, it's in a great place to network, and working with Sam Talent too is just pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. And honestly, like one of my favorite parts and why I'm definitely applying to more festivals and would encourage you and, anyone listening to also apply to festivals is that it was really cool being surrounded by a lot of hardworking, like-minded comics who are not only like really good, but like very serious about their careers. Um, they're everyone there wanted to do comedy full time. That was like their dream, and we're like working towards it. I feel like sometimes in local scenes, there's people who are, just doing it for hobbyists or they're just something to do, get drunk, like be part of the social scene. So it's really cool, kind of stepping out of that and being with people who are really really serious about it, and will push you to get better. That Sisyphus showcase I was on, it was one of, if not the best show I've like been a part of because everyone top to bottom just completely crushed, which I'd never seen. Normally, it's like, oh, you lose them, and then someone does, not so good, and then but everyone like did great, and it made you didn't want to be the one to bomb because everyone was doing so good. You're like, I want to keep this going, so everyone like brought their best, and it was such a fun show. And I was telling all the other comics, like, man, those people really got their money's worth. Like, it was such a fun show.
Heck yeah.
Also, shout out to Sisyphus Brewing. Like, what an incredible room, super well run, great beer. I love that place. It's such a good venue.
Hell yeah, that's what's up, dude. Yeah, I got accepted to a few festivals, but then now that I have two of my own, I'm like, I'm not even gonna apply anymore. So like,
Oh yeah, I saw that. You have your own festival. That's
yep,
cool.
two of them. So if you ever roll through, like, Colorado or Daytona Beach in July in Colorado or October, in Daytona, let me know and I'll put you on if I can
Yeah,
afford you.
Yeah, I'm not very expensive, but yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you, I appreciate that,
Hell
and
yeah.
congrats on that. I know that's a lot of work. I interviewed someone that put together the World Comedy Expo, at Chicago Festival, and it was a lot of work. So I definitely appreciate all the stuff that goes into that, and yeah, producing it's hard. It's a lot.
Most definitely. Speaking of producing, you run your own show at the Laugh Factory called Vouch. So how did you get involved with the Laugh Factory and create Vouch?
Well, my first involvement with them was when I started working there as soon as I moved to Chicago, and then probably within like 2 months I got fired. uh, yeah, just I don't know, disagreement in with management, I suppose. But no, I'm still close with everyone there. It's kind of like water under the bridge, and it was. I'm very close with like Curtis, who's the general manager there, and he's been supportive of the magazine like from day one. He has a background in journalism, and I approached him with like the concept for Vouch, and you know he liked it a lot. Basically, the idea is that every we put together a monthly showcase, and everyone on the show has been vouched for or nominated by another comedian, or in some cases like several comedians. So it's people who are like working hard, people giving back to the scene, just like people that are kind of flying under the radar, and then it gives them an opportunity to perform at Laugh Factory, get a clip, uh, you know, chop it up, put it online, use it to submit to other places. They get a photo, a couple photos of themselves on stage. So I don't know, it's awesome. We've been able to give a lot of comics their like debut at Laugh Factory, and they've crushed it. Um, and then we're just people who are not have done it before, but aren't doing it a whole lot, and um, are just deserving of more opportunities. That's kind of a big reason I started the Gazelle, is I wanted to highlight people that were flying under the radar, and just Chicago comedy in general. That's what you are. You're flying under the radar. Like, people there work really hard, but there's no industry, so nobody knows who the hell you are. So I just kind of wanted to stay, in theme with that, and try to give people some more stage time.
Awesome. That's the great thing. And like the stage is so massive and beautiful. I was like, wow, it's so amazing in Chicago. I've been to the Hollywood one before too. My friend runs a show there, and it's just all the laugh factories are pretty neat.
Yeah, they're cool. So I've only been to the Chicago one. I've seen pictures of the other rooms, and yeah, it seems more kind of like a traditional club. This one's more of like a theater. There's like an upper level and a huge stage. I think it sits like, oh God, I want to say like 350. I should know, but something like that, 350 people. So it's a lot. And I remember when I like made my debut there, it was really nerve-wracking, because you're like, this is not a bar, this is not like a small comedy club, this is like a intro to the like doing a theater. And it's cool that we're able to give people that opportunity. And yeah, everyone's knocked it out of the park, like from top to bottom. Like, the show is so I think once the audience understands like the concept of the show, I explain it up top and everything, they get really excited. They're like, oh, this is cool. Like, you know we're seeing people that we wouldn't see every day, and who are super funny, and like, let's go. It's just like a fun time, good environment. Every single show has been great, so hoping to keep that going, and continue building the following for it. We want to ideally pack the whole place out. Right now, we've got good numbers, but I'd love, for somebody to make their debut and the whole place is full. That would be awesome.
Like, yeah, that's pretty awesome. I created a comedy special slash documentary in my link tree, and I kind of did the same thing, but like I interviewed the comics and put them in between my sets. And
Mm.
then little did I know, I wanted to shine light on them, and but it ended up being like 9 hours long.
Yeah, I don't know. Have a couple beers, some popcorn, get through it.
Absolutely, just clicking. It's a choose your own adventure, so you click on which one you want to watch, and so it could be out of order. It's
Yeah, the
pretty neat,
true fans will support and watch it all.
most definitely. Good stuff. And man, that's pretty awesome. Like for you to do that for your scene to like vouch for them and or have people vouch to get on that show. It's pretty neat. I love it.
Yeah, it's cool. We've been able to kind of build like a brand that a lot of the comics in the scene trust. Like we've got an award show and stuff like that. Um, so it's cool. Like you take it seriously and you're consistent with it enough, people will believe in it. And um, yeah, it's kind of cool that it exists and people will take the time to actually fill out those forms and shout out other people, spread some positivity, stuff like that. It's really cool. I'm really proud of how far it's come.
Heck yeah. When it comes around again on Instagram, I'll put in some Chicago comics in there for you. So
Oh,
the ones that
perfect.
I've interviewed for sure.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. And so you created the Comedy Gazelle, and you interview local and international headliners. And so what's some of your favorite local and international headliners that you've interviewed so far?
Good question. I mean, so many. I feel like I learned something from every single person I talk to, which is another reason why I enjoy doing it. I really like getting into people's heads and seeing like their opinions and whatnot. It's been a huge help and influence for me. I'd say um, I don't know. One that I really enjoyed was Kristen Toomey's. I think she's one of the best, if not the best, comic in Chicago and in the country. I think she should be on Netflix. She's so funny. But yeah, we interviewed in person outside of at like a coffee shop, and she was I don't know. We were just joking around a lot, talked for hours, and I really got to like know her as a person, which is something I always enjoy. I talked to Jeff Osmus, who's he's blowing up now in New York. We talked for oh God, like maybe 4+ hours about comedy, and just had such a great conversation, and it was cool. Talking to him about like his work ethic and some of the um, like routines he has for himself. It's like, oh, this is what it takes to get to the cellar and the level he's at, and now he's even past that and working super hard. I just interviewed Marty DeRosa, another local headliner. I went to his apartment. We talked about comedy, and he was just spewing knowledge for like 5 hours while he was watching a football game, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is crazy. So yeah, some of those local people, it was great talking to them, and then obviously appreciative of all the kind of national headliners that have sat down with me. It was really cool talking to, like I said, Sam Talent was awesome. Um, I interviewed Mark Normand. That was a crazy one. He did that while he was on the streets of New York, and he was just walking. Sorry about the baby, and that's my niece.
You're fine.
And here I can move a little bit. Ugh. So then, yeah, I'm visiting my brother and his newborn niece. So apologies. Um, I interviewed. Sorry. Oh yeah. So Mark Norman. We were on the street, and he just goes. Just people recognized him. It was crazy. Everyone was like, "Hey, comedy, comedy," or just like shout out at him while we're talking and stop him for a picture. And it was just like a surreal thing. And I couldn't even believe I was, he gave me the time of day, which was really cool. And then another one was Sam Morrell. That was an awesome interview. I talked to him between tapings at the Den Theater. So like, well, not like it was basically like I think he did like 7 shows or something like that. So I was able to talk to him for, a couple hours, and it was, while he was in like the midst of it, which was really cool. And then I saw how the special turned out, and it was great. And yeah, I mean, it was awesome. There's so much stuff you can learn from these guys, and uh, I definitely recommend just checking out a few interviews and seeing what you can pick up. I think there's something valuable in all of them.
Most
Sorry, that's a
definitely.
really long answer,
Oh,
but
it's
there's so many.
fantastic.
I like everyone I've interviewed has been great. Like, there's so much to learn from everybody.
Awesome. And with like Sam and such, do you like reach out directly, or do you have to talk to their publicist, manager, or something?
Oh, I forgot like Kyle Kinane. He was another really good. I can't believe I forgot Kyle. He was great. Um, I mean, I can name every single person, but yeah, Kyle was really easy. You made me think of that because I just like emailed him, and he was like, okay, and then we like went back and forth for a while, and like eventually figured out a time that worked. And that was straightforward. He's like the most down to earth, like nice person. Um, I've had some where I've had to like try to go through publicists and agents, and they've like it's just fallen through. Normally, you I don't know, you hopefully like get lucky, and they see what you're trying to do. Um, it's like, oh yeah, it's 4 comics, it's just like a quick interview that seems legit. Yeah, like I'll help them out. So it's a lot of word of mouth. There's a lot of, like I interviewed James Webb. He was the first person I interviewed, and now he directed Sam's Netflix special. So he kind of put in a good word for me, and then I interviewed Sam, and then had that connection with James, and then was able to interview Mark. So it's a lot of like word of mouth, stuff like that, and it's tough even if you have that. At the end of the day, we have what, like, uh, I don't know, barely over 1,000 followers. So you really need them to like believe in what you're doing, and just kind of want to help you out. That's as I'm sure it's hard to get interviews, uh, but you just kind of reach out and hope for the best. That's basically what I do.
For sure. And that's why I always like reach out to the locals and be like, all right, pick your circle of friends and I'll interview them too. It's just so much easier because those famous guys are just, or on the brink of being famous, is just so hard to get to. So,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like they're just so busy. It's hard to find a time that works, and then the ones that have someone managing their time, they're like, oh, well, is this really beneficial, or is this like a nice to have? So yeah, it can definitely get tricky.
most definitely. And for our episode today, we're raising funds for the Pulmonary Fibrosis Foundation. And so, what'd you pick that foundation to raise funds for today?
Oh, that's just a disease that my dad has, and he's going through. So it's just a personal connection, and if anyone wants to donate, that would be awesome. But no expectations or anything like that. But yeah, it's just a personal connection to that one, and there's currently no like cure for it. All it is they've just got like some medications that you can take to kind of slow the uh, progression. But yeah, right now they've got a lot of work to do, a lot of like experimental stuff. But yeah, support it. Support Hassan Hamedi. That's my father. Hamedi comedy. Yeah, people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, and I put your Venmo down there and all your social media and websites and stuff in there too. So, and we got a viewer in the audience. So if you'd like to interact in the chat, you're more than welcome to, but be nice to us. That's how I always give them a fair warning because you never know.
Yeah.
So, Jerry,
Hello,
so,
hello,
so
viewer. If you have any questions, let me know.
absolutely. So, Jerry, so this part is like the second act, and it's like all the questions I have asked every comedian that I've ever interviewed. So, with that being said, what inspired you to perform stand-up comedy?
Uh, there's a couple. So one was a lot of my friends in college um, thought that I could do it and convinced me, and I was dumb enough to believe them. and I did it and had fun. The other one was a book by George Carlin called Brain Droppings. I needed something to like read on the train with college, and I read it and I was like, who is this guy? I didn't even know who he was. I was just like, I need a humor book, and then I was like, oh, he's a stand-up. Like that's interesting. Like I like how his brain works. Like um, this is really cool. I feel like I could do that, which is an insane thought. It's like, oh yeah, I read a book by the best ever. I could do this. So then, yeah, I just I tried it out, and here we are. It's been fun so far.
Awesome, fantastic. And let's see here. What was it feeling like when you first performed stand up?
Um, it was horrible. I bombed terribly. My first mic was I went to I went to Improv Boston, which is like an improv club. So already I'm set up for failure. And then I go up and I do just like, oh my God, just like preachy, dark humor, like just bad in every way, like unfunny, but also like with a nervous energy. It was just so terrible. And I like hightailed it out of there. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and I was like, I want to get better at this. And I was like, I feel like some of this is funny, but I can't like communicate it properly. And that's been I feel like that's most comics is like I have this idea in my head, but I like can't like get you to see why it's funny. And then one of those jokes that I wrote at my first mic is now like one of my best jokes that I will regularly do in my set. And it's one that people remember. So uh, that was kind of cool to be like, oh yeah, I was somewhat right. This was a good one. Everything else was crap and is long gone, but there was something in there.
For sure. That's such a good feeling when the people in the crowd love a certain joke, and they make you, and you got to put it in your arsenal every time. And
Yeah.
like I did this thing in Jacksonville where there was only one audience member in the crowd, and like all my buddies were sitting around, and we were just comics in the room, and said, "All right, pick a joke, and I'll do it." And they all launched their favorite joke of mine, and I just made that audience member laugh, and it was so much fun. I'll have to send it to you. It's called "Available Upon Request," and
Okay.
it's wild.
I'll check it. I love that. That was something that I did like as a joke. Like every now and then I'd be like, any requests? And
Yeah.
then sometimes you actually get one because someone somehow knows your material. And then yeah, that one is one that's always requested. It's a fan favorite, I'd say.
Heck yeah, that's what's up. I love it. And let's see here. What mentioned like Steve Martin and stuff, and um, I read his book Born Standing Up, and or no, you mentioned George Carlin, and
Mhm.
uh, yep, and he's had some specials and records. And what are some of your favorite comedy specials and record albums and podcasts too?
Oh, hmm. Favorite special I like. Let's see. That's a good question. Um, Carlin's, uh, what is it? You Are All Diseased. I like a lot. Um, it's Bad for You. Um, I really like Louis Sorry. Um, John Mulaney's stuff. His early stuff I like. I like Dave Chappelle's early stuff, like Killing Him Softly is amazing. Um, I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. Podcasts. Let's see. I don't really watch a whole lot of podcasts, to be honest. I see clips from um, uh, We Might Be Drunk, Sam Morrill's podcast. I like that one. I'll shout out Jeff Osmus's podcast as well. That's also good. Oh, and the Bad Comedy podcast. I'll shout out the Bad Comedy podcast. That's a local one in Chicago with a few idiots that wave around a gun and dress up in wigs, and I don't know. It's ridiculous, but I've done that a few times. It's fun. Um, what was the other question? Like album, basically specials. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's all I got.
Sounds good to me. And Jeff Osmond was one of my guests on the stand up speakeasy to promote his show at the Peppy Root in St. Augustine. He was such a cool guy. I couldn't go to his show because I had to be in Colorado the same week, so I missed out on it. But he sold that place out. It was so great to see.
Yeah, he's a monster. I mean, in the past like few years, he's just gotten better and better, and everyone's starting to realize it too. So super excited for him and everything he's doing.
Heck yeah. I'm glad we got him early because he'll be pretty expensive as a guest in the future. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. And I don't pay for my interviews or make people pay to get interviewed. I'm just like, we'll just buddy system. So let's see here. Some of those guys have been on. Folks have been on TV and film. And what are some of your favorite sitcom sketch shows and comedy films?
Um, let's see. Sitcom sketch shows and definitely Chappelle Show. I grew up on Chappelle Show. Um, I saw that way too young. Like I'm 28, and I think it came out when I was like 7, 6 or 7. And I was like watching all these like crazy sketches that I had no business watching because I had an older brother, and that kind of messed up my brain. But definitely Chappelle Show. I was huge into like any comedy movies. Like I don't know. I remember. Uh, I don't know what was big at the time, like Anchorman. I don't know. We had a bunch of DVDs, and most of them were. I'd love watching comedies, any comedy. Um, like Mel Brooks films. Huge fan of those. Um, and then let's see. Yeah, just a lot of like late night. I liked watching, and I didn't even realize like what stand up was because I'd watch like I'd like the interview, and then I'd if I'd watch the interview if I knew who the person was, and then I liked like the monologues up top, and I was like, oh, I really like what this person's doing, but it never clicked for me that it was stand up. Like I didn't have MTV, we didn't have cable or anything, so I was just I liked comedy and like The Simpsons and all that stuff, but never really knew about stand up, or never really processed that it was something you could do until I was in college.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
yeah, till this day, I still quote Chappelle's show and like
Oh yeah.
yeah, we
Uh,
were. Go ahead.
on Halloween, I saw a guy it just in this bar with a Prince outfit and a basketball, and I was like, I need your picture. That is amazing, and it was like one of the best costumes I've ever seen. It was perfect. Yeah, dude, I quote from that all the time too.
Indeed. And one of these, Charleston White.
Mm-mm.
Oh, he's some guy that just is just like says really mean things about people all the time. And he does
Yeah.
stand up now, and someone beat him up on stage, and
Oh, I did see that. I did see
yeah,
that.
and like my
Like the
buddy,
guy like crawled up there and then he like threw something at him and ran away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just saw that. Yeah.
yeah, my buddy Will Blaylock, he's a fellow comic here. I brought some Pequods for him all the way from Chicago to Jacksonville after I landed in
Oh.
Orlando to give him, and he posted about it, and I'm like, well, that's what he in Charleston talked crap about the Asians, and I'm like, well, that's what happens when you talk bad about the Asian delegation. It's like,
Yeah, they'll get you with their what was it, the like Zen like patience. I forget what the line is, but yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's funny. The Asian delegation.
Oh yeah, it's like we got the whole Wu-Tang
Yeah,
clan.
like the Wu Tang. Yeah.
It's so
Wu
good.
Tang Financial.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
diversify your bonds.
Yeah, yeah.
Good stuff.
That's who
Good
I
stuff.
want managing my money is Wu Tang Financial. That would be awesome.
Same here.
Take out like my
Same.
Wu Tang credit card. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, my buddies and I filmed a sketch called Roober, and it was just like me going picking up passengers to go to Staten Island, Brooklyn Zoo, and something else. Those are the and those in the slums of Shaolin. Those are the only three locations that I drive them to. And it's like a minute long. And like
That's
coming up
awesome.
next is like Wu Tang Van Gogh. It's like a van service. So cheesy, but it's great.
Yeah, I was gonna say terrible, terrible. That-
Yeah.
That's that's fun though.
Oh yeah, it's on my YouTube, so check that out too. It's like one of the recent videos. But um, what else? There's a if you can go on tour with any comedian locally and internationally known, which comedians would you have to go on tour with?
Um, Probably Louis C.K., which is probably an unpopular answer, but I think he is. I think there's just so much to learn from him. I mean, that's something for me that's just. I love like being around comics that you can learn things from, and that's pretty much why I'm in Chicago. There's so many people there just working hard and are really really good at their craft, and he's a master. So I think it'd be cool to learn from him and just kind of see. He reached like the peak, so it would be interesting to kind of see what he does. I heard he's like incredibly meticulous about all his stuff, and he is like constantly talking into like his phone and like playing it back and stuff. And it doesn't surprise me. I think it would be really interesting to learn from him. Um, I don't know. That's the one that comes to mind. A bunch of my friends, obviously, it would be really fun. It would be fun to like tour with your friends. But I think as far as um, like headliner, probably him.
Awesome.
Um, also, someone like Sam Morrell would be a great one too. I talked to him, and he was like a really nice guy, and he's kind of hitting that. He's hitting that next level. I think he's as good as anyone, and his crowd work's unbelievable. His joke writing is he's just so good. Um, and another person like Jeff Osmus, same thing, like a guy that's just crushing it, working really hard, and like getting there. And I think that's really interesting, is being able to be around people that are um, in the thick of like truly like becoming like a household name. Stuff like that is really interesting to me, and seeing some of their habits and whatnot, I'd love to learn from.
Indeed, for sure. Great, um, good stuff.
Sorry, that
And
was a
if you,
long answer.
oh no, you're fine. You're fine. If you can get roasted by five comedians, past or present, which comedians would you get roasted by?
If I could get roasted, Don Rickles, um, uh, Jeff Ross, um, man, I don't who are I don't. Those two are the two that stand out to me, just because like those are the legendary roasters. I gotta pick three more. Shit. Uh, um, man, I'd like to see Dangerfield roast. I think that would be funny because he's very self-deprecating. I'd like to see. Has he done roast? I have no idea. Probably. I saw. Oh, Bill Burr would be a great one, and Patrice O'Neill. Those are my five.
Awesome. And where do you see your comedy during the next 5 years?
Well, what the Star Tribune said, I think I'm the next big thing, obviously. I don't know. I'm hoping to get on the road more, do more festivals. I really want to, in the next 5 years, I want to release a special. I want to, have done some, major festivals. Like it would be cool to do JFL, obviously. Um, and yeah, just want to keep getting better, keep like getting on the road and playing new venues. I'd love to, like we were talking about earlier, I'd love to just kind of like feature or host for someone on the road and kind of get to play those different venues, see more of the country. I'm really just kind of based in Chicago, and then I get out occasionally, but it'd be cool to really like work with someone and kind of learn under their wing, which would be awesome. Um, so yeah, hopefully some of that's in the cards, and we'll see.
Absolutely. I'm planning on getting a brand new Subaru Crosstrek so I can go on tour, and so
Yeah,
we'll
that's the
see
other
what
thing.
happens.
I don't have a car, so I should probably get a car. That's kind of
Yeah,
holding. I'm just like taking the train and like the bus everywhere, and I know that's a big thing for the road. So I'm looking into that as well.
indeed. You can pull a Dave Ross because that's what he did was take trains because that's who I saw on Sunday when I went to Chicago. And thank you so much for letting me know about those mics. I didn't get to go to any of them, and it
Hmm.
felt bad, but because Vic Pendy had told me to host his room instead at Surge Billiards, and I had the time of my life there. I was like,
That's
we all had
awesome.
we all had two sets each because the list was light, and so and like two people walked in like late on the last comic, and I'm like, hey guys, do you guys want to do like an encore set, 4 minutes on top of the five? Like, heck yeah, we do. And so we all we did like a double sets that night. So so
Dude,
cool.
that rules. That's awesome. Yeah, I've done that room. It's fun, and yeah, it's really like it's really small. You're kind of on top of the audience, and it's a yeah. I've done that. You get some good. You can gauge your jokes, and I like that. I think if it's small, like why end it? Just like keep it going. You know, we're here. Let's have fun. Um, so yeah, it sounds like you did a great job hosting it. But yeah, hopefully you'll be able to check out some other ones. There's a lot of great mics in Chicago that give you very different experiences. And I think that's how you build like great jokes is you're trying it in all these different rooms and like tweaking it. It's like, oh, does it work for these people? Does it work for these like degenerate scumbags? Like, oh, okay, cool. And then, you all of a sudden you have a good joke. So that's what's great about Chicago.
Indeed, I love that town. Like I went there one time, like a couple years ago to do Red Line Tap when it was open, and then I did the Annoyance Theater, and then I didn't expect anything to like just to. I was just hoping to get on a mic this time around, but then Vic just took me up so fat. It was so awesome. I'm like, dude, if
Awesome.
you let
I'm
me know
glad you
when.
had a good
Oh, go ahead.
glad you had it. I'm just glad you had a good time. I mean, that's when people come from out of town, you want them to have like a good experience. So I'm glad you had that.
He's a great guy for sure. And thanks for your heads up too. And just a few more questions, and I promise we'll get out of here. We got like what was it, 45 minutes? We said, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've got a little bit of time, so
Cool, awesome. And so, what do you see? Which other forms of comedy would you venture off into, like improv, sketch, comedy writing, acting, directing, etc.?
um, probably sketch or writing. I initially my when I was in college, I was writing like scripts and stuff, like sketches. I wrote like a pilot, which I still really like. I still think there might be something there, but I started writing that stuff, and then I realized it wasn't as immediate as I wanted because like, oh, you need to find someone to read your script, and then once you do that, then somebody needs to make it, and it wasn't as instantaneous as I wanted, and that's why I got into stand up. I was like, oh, I can just go up and see if this is funny and keep going and get a laugh or whatever. So um, definitely that. I acted in my first sketch with Stephen Haas. Like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he makes these amazing. Just first of all, an incredible stand-up comedian in Chicago, and also makes the best sketches, and is like directs, writes, like so talented. Does it all. And I acted in one of his, and it was a lot of fun. It was just like a small part, but I enjoyed it a lot. So definitely want to get more into that. And I mean, hell, if someone wants me to act in a whatever, I'll do it. But yeah, I'm more passionate about stand up than anything, to be honest.
Awesome. Same here. I love stand up more than all the other art forms that I've ever ventured off into. And let's see. What's your favorite joke a comic has written?
My favorite joke.
Yep.
Um, a couple come to mind. The joke that Louis did on SNL about pedophiles I mean, just the fact that he did that on SNL and like pulled it off and got through it, I was like, that was crazy. And then his of course, but maybe is also a classic. And then I don't know, there's so many classic Carlin bits as well.
For
Um,
sure.
yeah.
Absolutely. And what experience would you like your audience to take with them after a set is over?
Oh, I got one more.
Oh,
Kyle Kinane's um, uh, uh, bit about playing craps. I think it's called Mustard on his album, but it's about um, it's the one with the Laotian child bride. That joke is so funny. It's like a beautiful joke. I love like longer bits that are like difficult to pull off, like long shots or whatever, and then someone's able to actually execute and make like this amazing bit. I think those are the best.
for sure.
Sorry. What was your other question?
What experience would you like your audience to take with them after a set is over?
Just hopefully like they had fun. They just want to make people laugh. I think that's the priority. Um, hopefully they enjoy their night and want to uh, fuck. I don't know, do whatever you want. I don't I don't care. I just want everyone to have fun and then maybe remember me. I guess I don't know.
Indeed. Yeah, let's see here. And so this is the third act, which is like the where you nominate the comics that you want to see on, because it's a secret society of stand-up comics. So that being said, which five comics in your circle would you like to see on a future episode of the Stand Up Speakeasy?
This is smart. I should do something like this. Um, I think Chris Grieco is definitely someone you should talk to. He runs the Chicago Roast Battle and is just like an incredible producer, super funny comic as well. And he's really elevated that show, and it's like a big staple. He's gotten people a lot of opportunities through it. Definitely Chris. Um, let's see. Um, Joe Ames, I think, is another one. He started the Humboldt Jungle, which is kind of considered by a lot of people the best independent show in Chicago. He's one of the co-founders of it. He just released a digital a short, or what was it, like a 20-minute set or something on Zany's channel. So you should check that out. Um, he's crushing it right now. Those two come to mind. I really like the people that like build like their own thing, or kind of like are doing something more than just comedy, or than just stand up. So them two. Um, who else? I think James Webb is another good one. He's it might be hard to get his time now because he's super busy. He's like directing uh, Netflix specials. He's directing Gary Gulman's that's coming out on HBO. He was my first interview and has really advocated for the Gazelle and been very supportive. So definitely James. Um, I think Kristen Toomey is somebody that everyone should know. She's like the best, like I said, and really nice person, very fascinating. And then mm, I think a fun one would be Brandon Kiefer. He uh, he just released his special Possum on YouTube. You should check that out. It's really funny. Um, he uh, he went to Austin for like the roast battle. He got the opportunity through Chris and whatnot, and then he was on Kill Tony and did great on Kill Tony. And then Tony Hinchcliffe had him open for him at the Chicago Theater, which was like a really cool opportunity. And he's like a Southern guy, like really great joke writer, great comedian, and just like a super fun dude to be around. So that's kind of off the top of my head. There's so many more people. You could probably just go down the list of my past interviews, and anyone on there is a great hang.
Awesome, fantastic. Reach out to all those fine folks that you nominated, and it's like a brand new voucher system right there for you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like it. I should start the people that I interview. I should ask them who they'd want me to interview. That's smart. I don't. Thanks for that.
You're welcome, Jerry. Anytime. And so, yeah, I was watching a couple of those Chicago roast battles videos, and my old sidekick from Jacksonville was on a couple of them, Harry Breitner. So he finally won one that I saw, and
Oh yeah, I was watching his clip today where he battled David Donick, and yeah, Harry's great. He's actually in my fantasy football league, and I beat the shit out of him the other week. So
he's coming home, and so I can't wait to see him in next week. So he's I got him on a couple of shows in Orlando when he was here, living here in Florida, and he's one of the good ones. And yeah, he
yeah,
my
he's a good
nickname
guy.
from him was the poet laureate of Pornhub. That's what he would bring me up as. That
Nice,
kid,
I
I
like
tell
that.
you. Indeed.
Yeah,
And Humboldt Jungle, like I've seen so many videos of it on YouTube, and I'm like, that background is so beautiful. Like all those
it's
girls.
really cool, man. Yeah, I saw Sam Talent there, and that's where I interviewed him. I interviewed him in the backyard of this apartment where they run the show, and we were just like by some chicken coop or something. I don't have no idea what it was, and we were just sitting there. I was like holding the like phone up to his face while we were like talking. That was another one of my cooler interviews. It was just like a different. Normally it's over Zoom, you're not standing there holding a thing. So yeah, but I mean, Joe, he does such a good job. He works really hard at it, and he's made a great space, built a great audience, and it's a really cool thing he's doing.
Most definitely. Indeed. Good stuff. And so, do you have any shows coming up?
Let's see. On um, Wednesday, I'm gonna be in uh, McHenry, so like a Chicago suburb. I'm doing a show out there at their theater or whatever. That's going to be really fun. It's a great lineup, and yeah, I've done that before. It's just that's produced by Stephanie Robertson, who's another person. She's a great comic, and she works really hard producing that show out in McHenry. So that's another one. I could go on and on, but I've got that coming up, and then there's Vouch at the end of the month. It's every last Wednesday now, um, at I believe 8 o'clock. I think the time changed, so I think that's December 27th is this show, and then yeah, just trying to add more dates and got random bar shows or whatever. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's gonna go. So if you want to go, let me know and I'll pass along where I'm at. But yeah, I don't have my calendar in front of me.
Indeed. And to find out more, just click all the links in the description box below, and to follow Jerry on all social medias and visit his website and all that good stuff, and and donate to the foundation that he chose, which is the Pulmonary Fibrosis Foundation. And let's see here. Yeah, my next show is December 27th as well. At the Tiernog Irish Pub, talking about bar shows. It's the best dive bar in Daytona Beach. We've been having stand up there for like the past 13 years, and it's Sareth Fest tryouts in Daytona Beach. So number four and out there. So yeah, whoever does best in there, because it's a rough room, one of the roughest rooms ever. But it's if you get them, they'll love you. So good
Yeah, that's the
stuff.
best feeling. I love difficult rooms because it's like you're just proving it. You're like, yeah, I got this. It's like the challenge. It's so fun. I love that.
Most definitely. If I'm going there tonight, actually, because I DJ and I close it out every single week, because I let the young comics go up there to a filled full room to experience the magic that is the Nog. And then whoever's left or there, that's usually like two or three drunk people, I'll just tell my jokes to them instead. So got to let you got to let the young wolves eat. So that's what I like
Yeah,
to do.
of course. That's
Absolutely,
awesome,
Jerry.
man.
Hell yeah, bud. Well, thank you so much for being my guest today. It means the world to me, and I can't wait to. I'll definitely do those mics that you recommended when I go up to Chicago, and hopefully we'll link up and we'll go on tour if you want to. Just fly out to Orlando, and then I'll sign up a tour, and then we'll just go on tour to like Austin or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I've never even been to Florida, so Isn't that crazy? I've never even been there. So yeah, that'd be awesome. And yeah, thanks again for having me. I do appreciate it. It's nice to be on the other side of an interview and think through some of these questions and whatnot. So I do appreciate it. And yeah, it's good talking to you, man.
Awesome. Thank you, bud. And for everyone else at home, take care, drive, and take care of each other. And we'll see you on the next episode.